If you've ever sat behind a table for 6 hours, watching people smile at your work and then keep walking, you already know how that feels. You made something beautiful, you put real time into it, and it just sits there while the table next to you sells out of little $5 items. That's not bad luck. That's not because your crochet isn't good enough. It's because you made the wrong thing for the wrong moment. Craft fairs are not the place where people make big decisions. People are walking, they're holding a coffee, they're carrying 3 bags already, and they are not in the mood to spend $80 on a blanket from someone they just met. So today, I'm going to walk you through the items that actually move at these events, why people buy them without even thinking twice, what to charge for each one, and one trick near the end that most beginners never think to try, and it usually ends up being the best seller of the entire day. Let's talk about the mistake first, because almost every beginner makes it. When you're new to crochet and you're proud of your work, it's natural to want to show off the biggest, most impressive thing you can make. A full-size blanket, a giant cardigan, a huge stuffed animal the size of a toddler. It feels like the effort should be rewarded with a big price tag and a big sale. But here's the truth nobody tells you. Craft fair shoppers are not shopping the way people shop online. They didn't come looking for your blanket. They came to walk around, grab a snack, maybe find a birthday gift, and buy a few small things that catch their eye. The average person walking past your table has maybe 10 seconds of attention for you. And in that 10 seconds, they're deciding whether something is cute, useful, and cheap enough to grab without asking their partner first. A $90 blanket needs a real decision. A $10 market bag doesn't. That's the whole game. So, let's get into what actually sells. The first thing that almost always does well is the market bag, sometimes called a produce bag or a net bag. These are the mesh-style bags made from cotton yarn, usually in a simple open stitch pattern, and they're having a real moment right now because so many people are trying to cut down on plastic bags at the grocery store. They're fast to make, they use a small amount of yarn, and they look great hanging on a rack at your booth in different colors. You can knock one out in an hour or two once you know the pattern, and they usually sell somewhere between $15 and $25, depending on your area. The reason they move so fast is simple. They're useful, they're pretty, and they don't feel like a big purchase because people already buy reusable bags all the time. Hang 5 or 6 of them on a small rack in different colors, and you'll notice people touching them within the first few minutes of your booth being open. Next up, coasters. I know they sound boring, but hear me out. A set of 4 coasters takes almost nothing to make. You can use up scrap yarn you already have sitting in a bin, and you can sell a set for $10 to $15. People buy coasters as gifts constantly, especially around the holidays, because they feel like a safe gift. It's not too personal, it's not too expensive, and it looks like a real finished product instead of something random. Tie 4 coasters together with a little ribbon, stack them on your table like a display, and watch how many people pick them up just to feel the texture. That little moment of touching the product is often what turns a browser into a buyer. Scrunchies are another one that beginners completely underestimate. They take maybe 15 to 20 minutes each once you get quick at them. They use almost no yarn, and they're incredibly cheap to make. You can sell them for $5 to $8 each, or do a deal like 2 for $12. And people will often buy 3 or 4 at once because they want one in every color to match their outfits. This is one of those items where the low price tag actually works in your favor because it removes any hesitation. Nobody has to think twice about spending $6. Then there's the small stuffed animals, usually called amigurumi, especially the keychain-sized ones. A tiny crochet frog, a mushroom, a little bear about the size of your palm. These are some of the most photographed items at any craft fair because they're just so cute that people can't help but pick them up and show their friends. The trick here is to keep them small. A giant stuffed animal takes hours and is hard to price high enough to make it worth your time. But a small one, the size that fits in your hand or clips onto a bag or backpack, takes maybe an hour, uses very little stuffing and yarn, and sells for $8 to $15 depending on the design. Parents buy these for kids constantly, and honestly, adults buy them for themselves just as often. Coffee cup sleeves, sometimes called cozies, are another quiet bestseller. They're small, they're quick, maybe 30 minutes to make once you have the pattern down, and they solve a real problem because nobody likes holding a hot cup with their bare hand. You can sell these for $6 to $10, and the beauty of it is that people often buy 2 or 3 at once, one for themselves and a couple as gifts. If you make them in a few different colors and patterns and just lay them out where people can grab and compare, you'll sell through a stack of them without even trying hard. Face scrubbies and cotton dishcloths are a category that surprises a lot of new sellers because they don't look exciting, but they sell like crazy, especially to an older crowd who remembers their grandmother making the exact same thing. These use cotton yarn, they're fast to whip up, and you can bundle a few together and sell them for $5 each or 3 for $12. The appeal here is that they're practical. People aren't buying these because they're beautiful. They're buying them because they actually need a new dishcloth, and yours happens to be sitting right in front of them, already made, already pretty, and cheaper than buying a pack at the store. Baby items are their own category, and they deserve real attention because gift shopping is a massive part of what happens at craft fairs. Little baby beanies, tiny baby shoes, small bibs. These take an hour or two, they use very little yarn since they're so small, and people are willing to pay a bit more for baby items because they see them as gifts for a shower or a new parent in their life. You can price these around $12 to $18, and because babies grew out of clothes so fast, people don't feel bad spending a little more on something that's just for a season. And then there's bookmarks, which might be the single most underrated item on this entire list. They cost you almost nothing in yarn, they take maybe 10 minutes each, and you can sell them for $3 to $5. Here's why they matter so much, even though the price is so low. They're the perfect add-on sale. Someone comes to your table to buy a market bag for $20, and right as they're about to pay, they notice a little basket of bookmarks by your register and grab 2 more for $4 each. That's an extra $8 you wouldn't have gotten otherwise, and it happens over and over throughout the day if you place them near where people pay. Now here's the part I promised you, the thing most beginners never think to do, and it's usually what turns an average day into your best sales day. It's called price anchoring, and it's a trick that shops and big stores use all the time, except now you're going to use it on a tiny table at a craft fair. The idea is simple. You put one bigger, nicer item at your booth, something like a full-size scarf or a larger amigurumi, priced higher than everything else, maybe $35 or $40. Most people won't buy that item, but here's what happens in their brain without them even realizing it. Once they see a $40 item on your table, everything else suddenly looks like a steal. A $15 market bag feels cheap next to a $40 scarf, even though $15 is still real money. Your smaller items start to feel like smart little finds instead of random purchases, and people buy more of them, faster, because their brain has already been anchored to a bigger number. You don't need to sell that big item at all. Its whole job is just sitting there making everything else look like a deal. Another small thing that makes a real difference is grouping your items by color instead of by type. Instead of putting all your bags in one pile,